Peter, do you want to come on screen, tell us all about AnswerPay? I think AnswerPay and Prinsix must be the two newest fintechs in Leeds, I think.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much. So great. 1 second. So first of all, thank you FinTech North for the invitation, and look, it's great to be here alongside these amazing companies. I must say it's very well curated. I can already see some relationships coming together there. So I'm Peter Cornforth, Commercial Director at AnswerPay, and I've been very fortunate in my career to have some great roles in amazing companies such as Amazon, PaySafe, Santander. But perhaps the most rewarding was actually a role I had with Vodafone, where we created the M-Pesa product. And for those who don't know, it's a financial inclusion service that now has over 40 million active mobile users, who up until that point had been denied access to basic payment services. So this was a product and service which truly changed lives. So when I had the opportunity to work on a similar service with AnswerPay, of course I jumped at the chance. So AnswerPay then was born from the Answer Digital Group, which was founded in 1999. And Answer Digital are doing some of the conference today, so do tune into their presentations. And they help with digital transformation and provide IT consultancy. And they helped us create the technology stack for Request to Pay, which was rolled into AnswerPay when it was founded in January of this year. So we are headquartered in Leeds, and we became the UK's first certified Request to Pay provider in June of this year. So what do we do? So we're solving financial vulnerability by creating a financially empowered society. So being financially vulnerable is not necessarily a permanent state. It can just be that you don't have enough money at a given point in time. And as an example, I think this can be true of gig economy workers who have flexible income. The last thing they need are fixed outgoings, especially if this money is automatically taken from their accounts using direct debits. I think most of us have experienced similar situations like this. So not so long ago, when I bought a new car for a new job, not this one I hasten to add, I needed to travel a lot more. Unfortunately, at the time the money was deducted coincided with my credit card bill and the mortgage payment, which was of course 2 days before my final salary from my previous employer, which resulted in a missed mortgage payment. Now, of course, if I'd had greater visibility and greater control, then this situation could have been avoided. And I think not to forget the businesses themselves who are suffering with cash flows, particularly at this moment in time, impacted by decreased revenues, delayed payments. And whilst customers value the control and flexibility that cash, cards and checks give them, these can be expensive for businesses, both in terms of the cost of processing, but also the cost of reconciliation. So what do we do? So using Request to Pay from AnswerPay, we believe you can reduce the cost of payment collection whilst empowering payers through 4 easy steps. So step 1, a biller using a CSV or API sends us their payment request using their existing invoicing portal. Step 2, the payer chooses which app they wish to use to receive their bill payment requests. It could be a mobile banking app, digital wallet or personal finance manager. This empowers customers, as if, for example, they're using the personal finance manager, they can have a full picture of their financial health before choosing how to respond. They can also aggregate all of their bills in one location so they can better prioritize which ones to pay and when. And that's great, going back to the example of the gig economy employee, so you can see that you don't have enough money here today, but you're going to get paid at the end of the week, so you can prioritize which ones go when. So no more failed payments. Step 3, the payer then decides how they would like to respond to each bill. So you can pay in full, you can part pay, request a deadline extension, ask for more information, or you can decline. And this increased communication means less credit control and alienated customers. It means better cash flow, it means customer empowerment. And finally, step 4, the payment. So our solution is completely payment method agnostic. As the payment is in the customer's own application, they choose the app which has the payment method they prefer. If a customer wants to pay cash, use a service provided by somebody like PayPoint. Wants an open banking service or a card solution, no problem. You as a payer are in control. Choose the app which works for you. As a biller, you receive an immutable transaction ID for easy reconciliation, and the payer's app sends you the funds by bank transfer. So your cash collection costs are cheaper and more efficient. So just to reiterate then, so the customer benefits are as they can aggregate all their bills in a single location and prioritize which ones need paying and when. They can also choose the payment method that is most convenient for them, giving them full flexibility. But this isn't at the disadvantage of the billers. I mean, it's quite the opposite. They actually benefit from the reduced cost of payment processing, easy reconciliation, better cash flow, And of course, everybody benefits from reduced credit control incidents. So final slide then, what can you do to help? Well, we need your help, and we want to hear from payment service providers who want to offer this to their biller and payer communities. We want to hear from biller invoicing portals and consumer applications who want to be part of the solution. We of course want to hear from billers and payers themselves so we can make it work for them. And if of course you're not covered by any of these groups, we'd still love to hear from you, even if it's just to cheer us on. So that's all from me, Julian, and thanks to everyone for listening. Keep safe.
Thanks, Peter. So, I mean, it's such a clever idea, and it's great to hear you talking it through. And obviously, you and I have had quite a few chats about this. With you being the first to sort of enter this space, what's it going to take for this to become widely accepted practice, for this to be the way that people do want to transact?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. We were the first to do this, but actually we've recently been joined by MasterCard, who have also joined the ecosystem. We did a press release just a couple of weeks back now announcing the first transaction between the two of us. So it's one of these weird co-opetition situations where actually the more people who join, and big players like MasterCard, are actually to our benefit. So I think it's not going to take a lot because with MasterCard, Visa are coming through, Modular and the like are coming through. I think this will become the norm. And, you know, I think we've mentioned the pandemic before and how this benefits digital companies. I think we're no different in that respect. You know, the days of going and paying cash directly with somebody, you know, are disappearing for a lot of people. So a remote bill payment solution is very topical. Yeah,
good stuff. And also, there's B2C and B2B applications for this. Maybe you could just elaborate on that a bit to help make things clear to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely right. So, I mean, I focus a bit more on the B2C in this presentation, but you're absolutely right. So if you're an SME, for example, maybe you're using a Xero type platform, it's quite possible to use that to aggregate all your supplier requests for payment in one place and manage them. So again, it's all about trying to increase the communication between a biller and payer, regardless of whether it's B2B or B2C, increasing that level of communication so the payer themselves are empowered, not at the detriment of the biller, who again gets the easier cost of reconciliation. So absolutely, it could work for both.
Great, brilliant. All right, thanks, Peter. Great to have you at FinTech North for the first time. Definitely not the last. It's going to be fascinating seeing how this goes over the coming months and years.
Thank you.
Okay, Perry.